fuck school. Yo, help me bring these to my house. I'm like, do you live close enough to where we could bring these to your house and then we get to school and we won't be late? And he's like, no. And I'm like, nigga, I ain't doing that, man. I'm not. Nah. I always heard about people cutting school, but nah, I didn't know what happened. If my mom found out I was cutting school, she would fucking whoop the skin off my black ass. But yeah, I said, nah, I ain't helping. He's like, fine, I'll do it myself. This nigga try to pick up as many magazines as he can, and he turns around and he starts walking back home, dropping magazines while he's walking down the street. I'm like, oh my God. I said, are you really gonna, don't tell me when you get home you're gonna drop those off and then you're gonna come back and pick up the rest. He's like, yup. And I just continue walking to school. Anyways though, back to the arcades. So yeah, she patted my dick. She's like, relax, and I'm just like, damn, I got some. I got laid today. She rubbed me. And that's that. I don't even know if I really got into that, but it's just something that happened in the arcades. I seen a lot of things go down. I seen, not in this particular one, because in my pizza shop it was like a well lit place and you couldn't really, but in the other places, the grimy places in the not so nice areas, the areas closer to the hood and shit like that, I seen girls behind machines on their knees, and me being a young kid, I really didn't know what was going on. And I seen all types of shit. I'll get into that later, because as I grew up and I understood what was going on, I started really seeing what was going on. I started understanding. I'm like, yo, and you start, you allowed to go to certain areas. Like when you were a kid and niggas is in the arcade and they all in the corner doing something, if you try to walk over there, they be like, yo, nigga, little nigga, go back over there and play the game. Here, take $1 and go back over there and play them games. Get away from over here. This is grown folk stuff. Nigga's only like 5 years older than me, but I guess that's grown folk stuff. 5 years older than me, that mean they 16, 17. That's grown enough to me. I'm not even in my teens yet. But I seen chicks on their knees. I seen people getting mugged behind the machines. Like a nigga would wrap his hands around a nigga mouth and the other niggas would beat him up quietly, and the nigga just sitting there getting fucked up behind the machine. Shit is crazy, man. And niggas fought over anything too. Like niggas would be jealous. Like other niggas, like the thing. One thing about arcades is niggas had pride in getting that high score and letting everybody know when you walked into any arcade place, you would hear nigga, yo, hold on, don't put nothing in, just look at the credits, and they would wait, and then when the scores come up, they be like, see those 3 initials, that's me, nigga. Niggas like, word, I'ma beat that. And then niggas try to beat it, niggas try to get the highest score. Niggas used to fight over that, because when a nigga got the highest score, you have some idiot who'd be like, oh, word, you proud of that, and would shut off the machine, which basically resets everything, takes off the highest score. And niggas will fight over that. Niggas will fuck you up if you shut off the machine or you pull a plug. Shit was crazy, man. But Street Fighter 2 World Warrior, it was hot at the time, and little did I know Champion Edition was coming out, and I got to a point where I mastered the game with Ryu, Ken, Guile, Blanca. I could basically beat the game whenever I wanted with those characters. I would not pick. I never liked E Honda, and I never liked Dhalsim and Zangief neither. But Guile, Ken, Ryu, and Blanca, I would pick and beat the game all the time. And it got to a point where I would pick Guile, because what I would do is I would play the game, and when I got up to Vega, because after Vega you only had Sagat and Bison left. When I get up to Vega, I would freeze the game. I would do the Guile freeze, and then I would handcuff Vega. I'd do the Guile handcuff glitch, and I would glitch the game like that, and I would walk up to the counter and be like, excuse me, the game froze on me. And they would look, And most places knew. I mean, most places didn't know what was going on, but they would say, "No, you still play. Look," and they would like jump around with the joystick, like, "It's still playing. You still got time." And then I would be like, "I can't press nothing. Press something. Look, the buttons ain't working." And then when the time counted down to 0, you could still hop around with the character attached. The character was still cuffed to Guile, and they would notice like something's wrong, and I'd be like, "See, the game messed up on me. Can I get a quarter, please? Can I get my quarter back, please?" And I got my quarter back. And the only thing is, you couldn't do that. You can only do that like once every few days in the same store. So if I did this at the Chinese restaurant on Sunday, I couldn't do it again until Wednesday or Thursday. Cause you can't do that shit every day in there. And I fucked up because I did it one time and some niggas was around, and then they seen it and they was like, "Oh, I'm gonna do that." I'm like, "Shit, don't overdo it, nigga, cause they're gonna just get rid of the game and we ain't got no Street Fighter." Cause this is when Street Fighter was hot now. Like all year when I've been playing it and leveling up and becoming one of the best in my area, it was mostly in the pizza shop on my block. And not my block, but at the all the stores near my neighborhood. And all the stores was in a certain strip. You had the pizza shop, then next to that you had you had a convenience store with Indians that owned it, and that store stink. Not disrespecting them, but whatever they was cooking in the background, that store stink, man. They was always cooking some funky shit. But they got a machine in there, but we never played in there, because if you stayed in there too long, you walked out smelling like that place. Then when you walked up the street, they had the laundromat that had Street Fighter, but the laundromat never maintained their games, man. They never did maintenance. It was always fucked up, man. You didn't know if you was gonna lose your quarter, or if a button would randomly stop working, or the joystick would pull out when you pull it too hard. And then further up, it was the Chinese restaurant. So each one of these stores is basically 4 stores and they each got Street Fighter in it. Street Fighter 2 World Warrior. So if the pizza store got too crowded, I would walk up the street to the Chinese restaurant. And then if that started getting packed, I would just go back to the pizza shop, because I didn't care about the laundromat, because the game's fucked up. And I would hang out in that. I would only really hang out in that Indian store to play maybe one game real quick and then get out of there. But that Indian store had all that fucking candy, man. They had mad candy in there. That store was it was a convenience store, but even the deli didn't have all the candy that any. So you ever go into one of them hood stores that it's a small store, but they had everything. They had everything. They had Charleston chews. They had gumdrops. They had everything I wanted to see, man. Everything that I remember seeing when I was a little kid, like when I was 7, they had it, man. And I was a Charleston chew nigga. I love Charleston chews. And the fucking deli never had it, and the other convenience store up the street never had it, but they had everything. But anyways, I met some guy, this white dude. He was like, I was probably 12 at the time, going on 13. He was like, no, I wasn't even going on 13. I was going on 12. He was like graduating high school, so he was probably 17, going on 18. He used to always pop up in the pizza shop at night, and he would buy a slice. He would eat his slice, and then he would eat the slice and stop at the crust, and then he put a corn in the machine, and he did his thing with Ryu. He only picked Ryu and Guile. I remember so much, man, but I cannot remember this nigga's name. I remember everything but this nigga's name. But me and him was cool, and I respect. He was like on my level of playing. Like no one else was really as good as I was, except for Damien, who was better, and my friend Walt, who was slightly behind. when it came to the Street Fighter skill, he was like not as good as me with his execution and his decisions, but he was up there. But this dude was like really good, and I'm like, damn. And I would talk to him while he played, and he would nibble on his crust between rounds. And he did this. He would pop up all the time at the same time. And I noticed. I asked him too. I was like, yo, you always eat your slice and you stop at the crust, and then you start playing Street Fighter and you nibble on a crust between rounds. And he was like, Dad, you a little nosy kid, ain't you? I'm like, no, man. But I was observant. But and I remember he's like, so what, you gonna play me? Or you gonna just sit there and watch me beat up the computer? I'm like, nah, I ain't got no money. He's like, here. He put a cord in the machine. He was like, here, play me. And he picked Ryu and I picked Ken. And he beat me. And I was like, damn. He beat me convincingly. And I'm like, oh shit. This dude, when he's playing the computer, he looked decent, but he playing me, and he looked better than he was when he was. I'm like, yo, what the fuck? And he was like, oh, I thought you was good. And he's like, here. And he put another chord in. He was like, play again. Maybe I got lucky. And he would body me again, and I'm like, yo, what the? I was like, yo, this nigga coming around. I want to be the top of the. I was never at the top, but I was still the second dude. But if Damien wasn't around, which he never was, I was the top dude, and Damien wasn't around for a while. And I'm like, what's going on? And he beat me, and I was like, yo, you're good, man. And he was like, yo, you got to work on switching things up. And I always had that problem. I get into this, I guess you can call it flowchart. But it wasn't really flowchart because I switched things up. But if something worked, I got comfortable with it and try to do it again. And some people say, hey, do it until it don't work. But you really shouldn't do it like that. You should always switch things around. But he was just able to read what I did, man. And he knew. And one of the things about Street Fighter is they say, don't jump. Try not to jump when it comes to Street Fighter. And remember, this is Street Fighter 2 War Warrior. There was no air blocking and shit like that. And it was mad slow when you jumped. That shit was like, it was like you was swimming in the air. And people had plenty of time. Even niggas with shitty execution, they had plenty of time to down fierce or whatever anti-air move their character had, or Shoryuken, whatever, to get your ass out that air, man. And he was telling me, he was helping me, giving me tips and shit. I'm like, dag, I'm getting schooled. But I think his name was Dave. Now that I think about it, I really think it was Dave. For some reason, Dave is popping up in my head. I think it was Dave. Not sure though. But this dude was real cool, man. And we were cool for dumb long after that. Like he started coming to the, but he didn't really speak to other people. But he would speak to me and Walt. Me and Walter was the ones he would talk to a lot, because wherever I was, Walter was not too far behind, or wherever he was, I was somewhere around. But now, Championship Edition. Let's get to that. Championship. I'm doing it again. Championship. It's not Championship Edition. It's Champion Edition. I keep doing that shit, man. My bad. My fucking bad, man. I feel like punching myself in the face. Street Fighter 2 Champion Edition popped up. Like I said, I walked into Geno's and I went to put a quarter in, not even paying attention to what it was. And boom! I was like, what the fuck? The boss characters. And I picked Sagat and I tried to do the same shit I did with Ken and Ryu, doing hurricane kicks, trying to do the Tiger Knee I used to get hit with all the time. And trying to throw the low Tiger, not knowing how to do that. All I knew was the high Tiger and the fucking Tiger uppercut, because those are similar moves to show those. So Champion Edition, damn it. Fuck, I'm starting to piss myself off. Champion Edition was there, and the store started just being packed, man. And it's funny because the Peaches